Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The Vampire Diaries. This week we've seen Season 7, Episode 7, which was called Mommie Dearest. And yeah, that pretty much refers to my least favorite part of the story right now. But we'll talk about that throughout this video, but overall I did like this episode. I did think it was probably a bit better than last week, but maybe that's just how the mood, how the episode come off to me this week. Maybe I was just in a better place to watch the show than I was during last week's episode. I don't know. But either way, I thought this was a pretty decent episode. My personal favorite part of the episode was... hold on. Okay. Sorry if the fan's a little bit loud, but it's getting kind of warm in here. Yeah, distracted by Facebook. Anyway, my favorite part of the episode is, of course, what you see in the thumbnail right now. I just really like the way Enzo really stepped up in this episode, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. The episode, like the past few, have been, started. This episode, like the past few, started with a flash forward, and this time we've seen Damon and Alaric. They're driving off. Sort of continuing from when Damon showed up at Alaric's house in one of the previous flashbacks. They go to rescue Caroline. And Damon is again shot by those wooden bullets. So not much to say about that. I'm still curious to see what that's building up towards this character. They're really, keeping in the shadows and stuff like that. So I'm eager to see what that's all about. Okay. Once again, I'm using my notebook here where I took quite a few notes, as you can see. Wait till you see the ones I did for the originals. And, we have Damon and Stefan hosting Thanksgiving. And that's something else. Both the originals and the Vampire Diaries will be off next week. We're not getting a new episode of either until December 3rd. I guess it has to do with Thanksgiving break of some sort, maybe. I don't really know. But, so don't expect any reviews or any new episodes next week. It kind of sucks, but at least it's only 1 week, not like, it's not like they're off for the mid-season right now or something, so that's good. Of course, we see Matt sort of looking over not looking over, but he sort of finds the blood banks that the heretics have been keeping, as their blood supply. What we think is their blood supply, but then, they notice how, there have been no marks on their neck, or they still seem to be very healthy because they've actually been fed. And the idea is that they're actually making really well not conditioned, but really healthy and still up to par, because the heretics are probably planning some kind of Thanksgiving blood feast or something like that. Let's see. Stefan actually tries to be honest with Lily and tell her exactly what the love of her life, Julian, is capable of doing. He tells her about Valerie's traumatic experience. She was pregnant with Stefan's child. Julian finds out about it, beats her to the point of where she has a miscarriage and loses the baby. And it was irritating because Lily pretty much refuses to believe it, because she's pretty much just blinded up until the end of the episode. So that was a little bit irritating. So Stefan kind of figured she won't believe it right away, so he ends up, putting a concentrated version of her vein into the drink, and so it pretty much puts her out right away, which is kind of cool. So there's that. Let's see. Bonnie and Enzo are looking for this particular weapon that Enzo had been looking into to use against Julian, a weapon that can supposedly kill him. And again, they're trying to build up this whole Bonnie and Enzo relationship. And you guys know I still feel like it's a little bit random. I've been saying it ever since they showed that flash forward a couple episodes ago. But and I still feel like it's a little out of nowhere, but I can't say they don't have chemistry together. I think Bonnie's like a good counter to Enzo, and maybe they could kind of even each other out. I don't know. And I do like Enzo, and I'm glad he's finally starting to turn against, Lily and the rest. Not really Lily, but he's sort of not going against his former best friend Damon anymore. And I like the way Michael Alaric plays him too. I think he does a good job. He's charismatic. He has that, charm and, class about him, like all, classic vampires have and stuff like that. So I kind of like that about him too. And, he's a character we're still kind of unsure of. But we'll talk more about Enzo later in this review. Thanksgiving, we get a Giuseppe flashback. Giuseppe being the father, of course, of Damon and Stefan, the former husband to Lily. And, I was kind of irritated that they didn't have the original actor back that they showed, back in season 1. The actual actor's name is slipping my mind right now, but I remember him from playing, Harry on Dexter and stuff like that. So I wish they would have just gotten him back. I understand this was like a younger point, when Stefan and Damon were kids, not like, almost grown up. But still, I feel like they should have gotten the original actor back. It always bugs me when characters are recast, like especially important roles like that. Even if it's been a while, but still. And the new guy they had for the Giuseppe flashbacks, he was okay. He came off like an asshole, like he's supposed to. So I guess he did his job. But the accent he had sounded a little bit, just there, and just like anyone could wing it, But he wasn't too bad by the end of it. I'm also wondering if somehow Giuseppe is gonna come back. I don't know. TBD has done crazier things, so I think it's possible. And somehow it'll be like a big enemy for Stefan and Damon. I'm not sure though. But it would also explain why they'd want a new guy so he could be there for a while longer or something. But I don't know. Either way, I'd still rather have the original guy back. Let's see. Also with that Giuseppe flashback, they show a scene from one of their celebratory Thanksgivings when they were kids, when Giuseppe actually killed Damon's pet turkey. I think her name was Sammy, which is really sad. And, he basically forced Damon to eat, the meat and stuff like that, which of course, you could see anyone being upset about that, I guess. So, that was a random event, but yeah. Of course, Lily continues to be blind to Julian's flaws, or supposedly so, or not really blind, more likely, I should say, denying, like she's in denial about what a monster he is and things he's done. Let's see. And here, my favorite part of the episode, Enzo actually confronting Julian. He's sort of, he still has a thing for Lily, but, it's more so just, I think he knows what dick Julian is, so he's also defending Lily's honor for, and doesn't really want her under his spell at the same time either. Julian's spell, I mean. And, I just like the way Enzo and Julian kind of bicker at each other and sort of like trade, light shots at each other. I thought that was cool. Not really light, but just like those lines when he's smirked, but it's still full of tension. So pretty intense too. Of course, I wrote "Go Enzo" in all caps right there. Let's see. Okay, Caroline also had Valerie, not uncompel, but like siphon out the compulsion from the people who were being used as blood banks. Let's see. And Caroline just continues to be sort of a, excuse my language, sort of a bitch to Valerie. I get that she wants her man to herself and stuff like that, but Caroline just bickers at her 24/7 when she's trying to get Valerie to help her. Caroline and Davina, my two most annoying characters in the TVD and TO world. Let's see. Enzo and Julian go about their fight in a somewhat honorable manner, sword fight actually. And so I thought that was pretty cool to see. We haven't seen anything like that on the Vampire Diaries too much, so I thought that was kind of unique. It kind of fit Enzo's character that he would be a decent person, to hold the sword and stuff like that. So they actually went back and forth quite a bit. It was pretty cool. We'll talk about the end results of that in a few minutes, or a couple minutes maybe. They also show a flashback where Damon was accused, of stealing money from Giuseppe, and he basically got a cigar burn on his arm for it, and it was later revealed that Lily had taken it, and she tries to explain it, but really she just stood there and as she heard her child's screams from being burned, and Len didn't leave the man for another 5 years. So yeah. Let's see, I totally get Damon and Stefan's anger towards that. We already knew this, but Lily sort of reveals to Damon and Stefan that she has linked herself to Julian, so as a way to prevent them from killing him, because they won't want to kill her, they're linked to each other, so whatever happens to Julian happens to Lily too, and vice versa. And so we see a cut show up on Lily's neck, so that means Enzo actually landed a little small cut or slash on Julian, so I thought that's pretty awesome. Let's see. Just when Julian finally, gets the advantage over Enzo, Damon shows up and he stabs Julian with that sword Enzo had been carrying around. Damon gets him in the heart, which is pretty satisfying to see, but as soon as it cut off right to commercial after that, I knew we were going to see Julian survive that. I thought we were going to either see him start to smirk or he'd get back up, and Lord behold, he got back up. Sorry about that cheesy line, that's kind of weird. But anyway, and we find out that's because apparently the Phoenix Stone is needed for the sword's power. It's needed to be put in the handle, or I forget the exact term for it, but the end of it, it's supposed to go into there and it's supposed to give the sword's actual power to put down that kind of immortal being. So yeah, right there it's shit. I didn't think Julian was going to be killed right there, but when I seen it, I wanted it to be true. But unfortunately, it looks like Julian's kind of going to be more of a regular for this season, which I kind of figured. So after that, Julian impales Damon, not kill him though, for supposedly, it's really just to stay on Lily's good side. And, then he snaps Enzo's neck. Of course, that doesn't actually kill him though. Of course, Damon and Stefan sort of have an emotional conversation with, Stefan, sort of trying to find a bit of redemption in his mother, and Damon not really caring. He just wants to take out two birds with one stone, basically, so you kind of get both sides of it. Lily finally seems to be sensing something wrong about Julian. She's finally coming around realizing what she's in with, and, it shows the flash to her and Giuseppe, Giuseppe trying to, apologize to her, but he's only going to do that shit again, and Julian does a similar thing, apologizes to her, tells her he loves her, and he's just gonna go back to the way he is. So it's like any cycle in an abusive relationship, and also throughout the episode, Valerie was telling Caroline the babies are inside her, as we found out at the end of last week's episode. Alaric's babies. So Caroline checks for it. It comes up negative. But then we find out that the babies were cloaked as another way to protect them. And so the babies are inside Caroline. Alaric's babies are actually inside Caroline. I already talked about how weird this is last week, and a lot of fans seem to be kind of put off by it. I want to have faith in the show. I want to have faith that this is going to turn out to be a good story. But, as much as I feel for Alaric, I want him to have kids. I want him to, somehow be reunited with Joe or something. But for Caroline to be the one to give birth to him, I find that really, really odd and just really random. I just hope they don't force an actual romance between the two. But yeah, that was pretty weird. Anyway, so overall, not a bad episode. It was a pretty decent one. I really like the Enzo stuff. I like the Damon and Stefan scene at the end. And the flashbacks were decent, although I kind of didn't like the recasting for Giuseppe. But like I said, an overall decent episode. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Won't be another new episode or a new review for the show until December 3rd, unfortunately, but you guys know I'll be doing other stuff. So, yeah, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, MoviePilot, and look for unspoiledwood.com. Catch you guys next time, and peace. Originals review coming soon.